Hey everybody, this is Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome to episode 2 of my Reds GM Challenge and Out of the Park Baseball 19. We are about to start the first year player draft. That's primarily what I'll cover on this episode, but I wanted to start off and give you a look at where we're at and how we're playing so far and how the rest of the league's looking for this 2018 season. For us, for a while there, I thought I was like a GM genius because we started out so good. It's unbelievable, considering. If you watched the last episode, I think making the move at manager was definitely the right choice. We we have been quite a bit better than I thought we would be. Our record right now, you can see, is 27-33. So we're just 6 games under 500, and we were actually over 500 with, I think, 35 games or so into the season, and we went in a long losing streak, and we've never really recovered from that. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with this. Um, the owner goals, I mean, we're probably a little bit off of where he wants us to be at 500, but I'm telling you, with the challenges that this team has, I think that's pretty good. And it's really been just a tale of two different teams, honestly. And it shows up in these team stats rankings. It'll show pretty much what I'm talking about. If you look at these top 4 offensive categories, we're doing really good. We're second in runs scored, second in stolen bases, fifth home runs, batting average and on base percentage, we're sixth. So we're really doing good offensively. Pitching, though, dead last runs against, 14th starters ERA, bullpen ERA is 13th, defensive efficiency is bad at 13th. So that's kind of why we're at where we're at, if that makes sense. If we could just find a way to get some better pitching, I think this team could really get close to 500 this year. But I'm just kind of limited on what I can do and with what's available. But looking at how we have looked overall, like the total team statistics, you can see that month of April we were 15-13. Started out really good, really solid. And another good positive for that month was Joey Votto, who we'll look at some individual performances here in a minute, but he was the offensive player of the month for April. He's off to an amazing start, like career type start for Joey Votto. But then in May, we played below 400, and we've just got one series down for June. It was on the road at San Diego, and we lost that series 2-1. But it's just all about this pitching. It is just so terrible. And one of the viewers commented about the Matt Harvey trade. If you're watching, paying attention to the Reds in real life, I'm probably not going to go that far yet because his personality ratings, I think, are just so disruptive. But I can understand the desperation that the Reds are facing because it's hard to win games with the pitching staff that we have. Looking at individual, we'll just start out looking at the pitching staff. There are few, if any, bright spots. There were a couple guys who started out looking good, like Jimmy, and I hope I'm saying his name right, Herget or Herjay, however you say it. He's kind of faltered a little bit, but that's okay. It's his first year. He's still got some potential. He's a potential 4-star pitcher. I'm hoping he'll develop. But that's about it. Iglesias is the closer for now, but he has had some struggles lately. And the only bright spot is David Hernandez, who came over from the Braves, looks like, last anyway. And he's got good overall ratings, probably the most solid pitcher that I have. And it's showing for him. He's got a good ERA, 2.28. I don't control any part of the team, but it might be even a good idea to move him to the closer role. But that's up to Girardi. And then for offense, the lineups, it's really Joey Votto all the way. This guy, he's batting 342. He's on pace for 149 RBIs, which I think would be his career high by far. Well, he had 143 in 2015, so he's going to get close to his career high if he keeps up this pace. He's been phenomenal all year. Scooter Gennett has also looked good, and he's not getting. I don't think he's getting the starting. Well, now he started 53 games. I'll take that back. I didn't think he was starting all that much, but he's off to a great start and good pace for him. And Winker at times has looked good and bad. This is his first full season. I don't really know if he's going to be a good long-term starting left fielder, but hasn't been too bad productivity-wise. And then the rest of the team, aside from maybe Hamilton, who is hitting better than he typically does in this playthrough. He's at 275. He's come off his pace for stolen bases, but I think he's still leading the league. And he's on pace for over 100 runs, which is something he hasn't done in his career, so that would be good to see for him. But that's it. I mean, if we could just find a way to get some good pitching, I think we'd be in a lot better shape. And a big story, I think Adam Duvall has lost his starting spot, and at left field, he's really struggled. He's hitting below 200 right now. I don't know if he's somebody that I could trade, although unless I was getting just another prospect for him, I'm not really on the hook too much this year for salary. But while we're talking about it, let's just see what shopping him around gets me. If it is a decent like mid-rotation starter, even, that would be great. And it looks like a lot of players are coming up here, so I may have something to choose from. There's Patrick Corbin from Arizona. Not terrible. I don't know if I can really swing that salary, but he's a free agent after this year. And Lucas Sims, a young starter, but don't like his movement rating. And then Kevin Gausman from Baltimore. Again, that movement rating's not that great. And let's see, the Cubs have Alec Mills and Mike Clevenger from Cleveland. I like his stuff. He's got 4 pitches, but the movement and control's a little off. Let's see what OSA thinks. They got him as a 2-star. And then Daniel Norris, his ratings seem to be taking a dive a little bit in this playthrough. And then Lance Lynn. Jordan Montgomery from the Yankees. He is a lefty. I don't think he would be a terrible choice, but how about Chad Green? He's a good-looking reliever. Well, he's a great-looking reliever. He's a 4-star from My Scout, 4.5 potential from OSA. They're saying he might have trouble with lefties, but that's not too bad. I mean, the control rating is not that great, but And then Graveman, don't like his stuff. I'm surprised that I'm getting this much an offer for Duvall. I mean, I really do like that reliever there, that 4-star. He's not having a great year, but man, he's got some good looking ratings. I think I'm gonna do this. I think that is just too good of a pitcher to pass up with what I'm getting. And I just don't think at this point that I'm going to really need Duvall if he's not going to be in that starting lineup. So let's go ahead and do it. So now that's going to give me kind of a hole there in the outfield, and then pitching. I think Peralta needs to either Austin Bryce or Peralta really need to. And I keep hoping that Peralta is just gonna start pitching a little bit better, and he is my lefty. I can't really afford to not have him, so I think I'm gonna send Bryce down, who's really kind of struggled. And then I'm going to put Chad Green in there, and let's see what Girardi, he uses him as the closer. So I like that move. So now I just have to figure out what I'm going to do to replace Duvall in left field, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have much in the minors to go on. Mason Williams, let me see if there's anything in the waiver wire. Not right now. Van Straley is a former Red. He's on the waiver wire, and Eric Johnson. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go through the draft, and I'm going to keep an eye on this waiver wire. I'll look at free agents too, and just see if there's somebody I can get to replace Duvall. I think there should be. But let's go ahead. Well, before I do that, I wanted to take a look at the standings. Surprisingly, the Yankees are struggling in the American League. Boston's off to a pretty good start. Cleveland's doing well. Kansas City's doing better in this playthrough than they are in real life. The Angels are leading the way in the West. They have the best record in the American League right now. And Oakland is playing good. Oakland, I think, has a solid. Their farm team is here where I live. One of their AAA team. I think they have some great talent on that team. I think they're going to be a team to watch for a few years in real life, as well as on out of the park baseball. But they're in line to make the playoffs if this holds true. And then Atlanta, New York, those guys are back and forth in the National League East. Philly's not doing too great at 450. They're tied with us, 27 and 33. Cubs are off to a great start, and the Dodgers are off to a really good start. They're the best record in baseball right now. Giancarlo Stanton, he is having a monster year too. On pace for 68 home runs. He was the batter of the month in the American League in April and May. So he's had a great start. Altuve is looking good. Pitching wise, kind of your normal guys. James Paxton for Seattle, who just threw that no-hitter last night. He's having a good year. Or 2 nights ago, I can't remember when it was. Corey Kluber, he's off to a good start. And then in the National League, Joey Votto, you see how he's doing. And then Eric Hosmer, he's like in San Diego. He's off to a great start, 385 batting average. And then Clayton Kershaw having a monster year, on pace for 20-plus wins, a 185 ERA. Hopefully he stays healthy. But you can see even with him, I think the pitching ratings are I wouldn't say dumbed down for this setup, but His stuff is at 16, movement 11. I would really expect him to be quite a bit higher. And I've seen in previous playthroughs, and I think the one that I just did with the Phillies, I think he would have probably been maxed out on a couple ratings there, maybe even 20 stuff. So I think the pitching ratings, for some reason, just aren't matching up to like normal anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see. I bet there's going to be a lot of offense in this league and in this playthrough until that kind of averages out. So let's get to the draft. That's going to be where I really need to shine. We have the 5th pick. I'm hoping that I will find somebody here who's going to be a game changer. I'll probably go through the first 5 picks and then I'll finish it out offline. But I've talked about this on previous playthroughs and episodes. My draft strategy has always been you pick the best player. So what's available is going to be what's available. I'm not really drafting for need because I just think unless you get somebody who's already rated a 2-3 star and you know they're going to be in the majors really quick, I think it's going to be really hard to predict how everything's going to shape up. So I'm always going to try to pick the best player. So let's go ahead and we're going to auto draft until my next pick. And we're on the board. And let's hope that there's something left here. Well, wrong way. So we got a few 4 stars there right off the bat. And I was actually looking at just the outfielders. So let's see. Couple of 4-star starters, and like I said, I don't necessarily draft for need, but let's see what these guys look like. This is a high school, so he's got a lot of room to develop to meet that potential. OSA doesn't think as highly of him. So that was Ethan Reed, and then Carter Stewart, same deal, a high school pitcher. Great potential, but you know OSA is they like him pretty well too. Let's see what my scout says. He could become elite when he fully develops. Top starter on a team. Oh, and I guess I missed this guy. What's going on here? Oh, it's showing. I'm sorry. Let's go with my scout. But now my scout here, we have a 5-star potential catcher. He's good defensively, which that's pretty good to be that young at 18. He's got some good overall ratings except for that contact. And quite a different story from OSA. He's just a 2-star potential. So we got... It keeps going back to OSA. Shortstop, Cyrus Johnson, pretty decent speed. 2.5-star from OSA. Another catcher here, potential 4-star. And once again, his defense is not as solid, but the contact rating is pretty low. And left fielder, potential 4-star. Now, I like this guy's ratings. He's got some potential power, double digits in pretty much every rating potential from my scout and from OSA. He looks like a potential regular, above average power. And let's see. His contact doesn't look good. Same with him, unless OSA just thinks he's not. So Ethan Reed, I think it might be an okay thing to go with one of these pitchers because those guys aren't really blowing me away either. So it would be Ethan Reed or Carter Stewart. And I think I'm going to go Carter Stewart. I think he has a better mix between My Scout and OSA. So now we're back to round 2. Still some good potential here left. Justin Olson, first baseman, don't need that for a while, but man, his contact rating is so low. Jeremiah Jackson, I like his potential contact, good defender. He's wanting a pretty high bonus though. Says he could be an average shortstop. My scout doesn't seem like he's too sold on him. I do like the potential. I just don't like that. I really don't like that demand. Another shortstop here, but a low contact rating. He's impossible to sign. And so now we got a couple more pitchers. 3 stars from My Scout, 2 from OSA, and then David Erickson. I kind of like his stuff too. I know I said I wasn't drafting for need, but I have 2 pictures right off the bat. So here's the third baseman that kind of, I know we've got Senzel in the well, he's impossible to sign. I already looked at this guy, but what about I don't like to draft relief pitchers too high unless they are just almost ready to go. Here's another third baseman that's got some good overall ratings, but he's better defensively at first. Man, I like the way, I like My Scout's potential for this guy. So that was Cade Pollard. That's going to be my first offensive player. And then Grant Richardson, a center field. Man, he's got some good ratings there too. Good defender overall. Pretty decent speed. But man, OSA does not like him at all. Let me take a look. We're currently in the 3rd round, so I got a lot of picks here. Let me see if what OSA is like in here. Tanner Dodson. Oh, he wants a huge bonus. Another third baseman. Tyler Acosta. So Tyler Acosta would be a gamble, and he's wanting a big signing bonus too. Jeremiah Jackson. So I'm back to him. I think I'm going to try him and see if I can get him to sign for less money. He's got some really good overall potential. So now we're just in the 4th round. We've already made some great picks. Here's a good looking catcher, Brian Menendez. Pretty good defense. A little bit of a mystery. It's really going to depend on how trustworthy My Scout is. And a lot of good offensive third baseman in this draft. I think I'm going to try it for Menendez. If he can develop like that, that would be a really solid line. And so here's my 5th pick. Here's another 3-star potential starting pitcher. He's impossible to sign though. How about this guy? Good defender. Good potential except for that avoid K rating. And really OSA, they kind of like him, his potential as well. He's double digits in most. I think I'll go with that guy, Brennan Davis. So all right. So I was hoping to see the players that I've done. I don't know if you can do that. It's doing through the logs, but so we went with Carter Stewart, potential 4-star starting pitcher in the round 1, and then the supplemental round. We didn't have any picks, but we had round 2. We picked up David Erickson, another potential starting pitcher that could be pretty good, and Cade Pollard, good-looking offensive third baseman. Who else did we get? All right, that was it for the second round. The third round, we got shortstop Jeremiah Jackson. And then the fourth round, we got catcher Brian Menendez. And then in that fifth round, we got Brennan Davis. So I think there was some balance in those first 5 picks. Might have a few tough guys to sign in terms of their bonus demands, but I'm kind of liking what I saw so far. So if we're gonna rebuild, I think that's a good start. And honestly, there was some pretty good talent in this draft. And if I'm still like, so we're in the 6th round now, and we still got some 3-star potential guys showing up, so that's not too bad. I think that's something that they have kind of worked on with this version of the game, is getting the draft to be, once you get into those later rounds, you've got, you're not just picking up scrubs at that point. You're picking up people that you can see some potential there. So I've still got some good choices here going forward, but I'm not going to keep boring you with my deliberations on every pick. But what I'm going to do is finish the draft, and then I think next episode we'll probably get up to the trading deadline, see how we're doing, and we'll make some good trades. Or try to make some trades. I feel like Senzel, even though his numbers aren't that great, I think he's ready. I think it's just time to let him come up and develop. His individual ratings are great. It's just that his numbers haven't been good at AAA. But I feel like it's time, and if I get him to come up, then I can move Suarez, hopefully, and hopefully I'll pick up another pitcher, a mid-rotation type starter. Our starting pitching is so bad that it's not going to take much to make an improvement on it. And I think, if that does happen, we could potentially play at 500 this year. I'm not going to hold my breath, but with that offense, it's possible that we could do it. And that's what I'm going to try anyway. We've got some guys, too, that I'm going to have to make some decisions about in the minors, like Taylor Trammell, for instance, who is a huge prospect. He's really looking good at Daytona, so it might be time to move him up to AA, and he could be on a fast track, too. Even though he's only a potential 3-star from OSA, my scout likes him a lot, and the ratings individually, oh, man, this guy, if he meets those ratings, is going to be a superstar type player. So I'm happy to see that, and I think there's a few other guys in the minors that I'm going to have to take a look at and see if they're ready to go. I'll probably try to move them up if they're ready by that All-Star break. And in terms of the All-Star break, Joey Votto is leading the vote getting for first baseman in the National League. He might be the only All-Star on the team, although I really think if Scooter Gennett keeps playing the way he's been playing, he might have a chance of making it too. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I've probably going to try to get another Phillies, if you're still watching that Phillies series. I'm going to try to get that one started back too. I just finished spring training there, and we're ready to go with the season. I think it's the 2032 season. I kind of want to play it out a little bit more and see how far I can get with them, because there's some guys on there that I got attached to through, either I drafted or traded for or signed somehow. And I think that team is just on the verge of making the playoffs and making a run for it. And hopefully they'll show some improvement this year. But look for that episode 2 if you're still watching that series. But as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate the support, and I'll look for you next episode.